I would like to remind everyone to please make sure that all cell phones are turned to the off or vibrate position. Also, please be advised our city council meetings are broadcast on television on Comcast Channel 99 and rebroadcast on WMGJ Radio. This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Tolles. Here. Councilman Williams.
Here.
Worthy. I think some of our council members are here, but just not right at their station. Councilman Eccles.
Here.
Billingsley.
He's out.
He just left. Okay, Cannon.
Here.
And Reed.
Here.
We do have a quorum present, sitting at their seats, and so we will begin council meeting at this time. I'm going to ask one of our youth and government students, Jalen Thomas, to come forward and lead us in an invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay. Pray. Can y'all bow your head? Lord, I just want to thank you. Thank you for bringing us all out here today. Lord, thank you for letting everybody see into the day. Lord, pray this council meeting go well. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's a good Methodist prayer.
Shall we? And his dad a Baptist preacher.
Yeah.
Jalen, it's a whole lot easier to talk to God when nobody else is listening.
Yeah. I just said you did one of them nice, excuse me, Methodist prayer.
It's really Episcopalian.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work sessions and city council meeting held on April 12th.
So move. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
The chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of accounts for the week of April 8th through the 14th.
So move. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamations. Did the mayor go see a man about a dog?
Yeah, you did. No.
All right, we'll come back to him if he has them. Unfinished business, item number 8A is an ordinance amending fiscal year 2016 general fund budget. This ordinance was presented last week for first reading. It reflects receipt and appropriation of a $5,000 grant from the Etowah County Community Development Committee for ball field improvements. What is the pleasure of the council?
So move. Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 8B is a resolution assessing a nuisance abatement lien on property located at 119 Park Street in District 1. Vicky DeRisa Tuck, care of Lorenza Thomas, being the last known owner. This resolution was tabled for 7 days on April 12th. What is the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, I move that we table it for another 30 days.
Second.
Okay, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for an additional 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
Item number 8C is a resolution assessing nuisance abatement lien on property located at 712 Knuckle Street in District 2. Christy Butler Reed and Alabama Housing Finance Authority being the last known owners. This resolution was tabled for 7 days on April 12th. What is the pleasure of the council?
You want to table it for 30 days?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion for a 30-day table and a second. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for an additional 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
Item number 8D is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisances on property located at 203 East Chestnut Street in District 4. Colonial Arms Property LLC, and EVA Bank being the last known owners. This resolution was tabled for 30 days on March 15th. What is the pleasure of the council?
At the request of the building department, I've asked for another 30 days.
Second.
Okay. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for an additional 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
Item number 8E, the nuisances on property located at 307 Pearl Street have been abated by the owner. Therefore, no action by the council is needed. Item number 8F is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisances on property located at 3506 Sudi Avenue in District 6, Sue Bragg being the last known owner. This resolution was tabled for 14 days on April 5th. What is the pleasure of the council?
On the recommendation of the building department, I ask for 30 more days table, please.
Second.
Okay, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for an additional 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
This is the time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution ordering abatement of nuisances on property located at 1323 Ray Street in District 1, Michael Rogers being the last known owner. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, I'm Brian Harbison with the Building Department. We started this case in August of last year. There have been no improvements. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
I move to abate.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1301 Florence Avenue in District 1. Glenda Taylor and heirs of El Zora Rainey being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution?
Mr. President, I had a conversation this morning with the new owner of the tax certificate for this property. He was unaware of his rights as being last assessed paying property taxes. I explained that to him. He had greater rights than he was aware of, and also had discussion with Dr. Toles that's in her district. And I told him basically what we're going to be looking for. And if it's okay, I would like to include item 11 also with my recommendation on this. This is a house right next door. Both these houses are on one parcel. They are on separate lots. So I'm asking that we table this case for 30 days. Thank you.
Okay. Ryan, is he just paying one tax bill or two?
It's one parcel, so he's paying one tax bill,
Okay,
but two houses.
okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, what is the pleasure of the council?
I move that we table it for 30 days.
Second.
Is it necessary, clerk, that we read the description of the other property for the record?
I would go ahead and enter the address at least into the record.
Okay, the property in item number 11 is 1303 Florence Avenue. That's also in District 1. So we have 1301 Florence and 1303 Florence.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion to table for 30 days and a second for both items 10 and 11. Do you have any additional discussion?
No more than I talked to Mr. Taylor also, and I think he's going to make some, well, he didn't know he could make some improvements. He thought that he couldn't go on the property. So now that, I think after his conversation with Mr. Harbison, he's able to show some improvement. We asked that he show some improvement in the 30-day period.
Okay. All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table items 10 and 11, both resolutions for 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table both items for 30 days.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 430 Jacksonville Street, also known as 430 Ashley Street in District 3. Roosevelt McCain Jr. and Mary E. Wise being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution?
Mary, come up here.
Ms. Wise, if you would, just give us your name and address.
I'm Mary Wise, and I live at 523 Tyler Street, but this is my brother's home that we're concerned with. Now, my name is on his deeds now, but originally they were not on there. He had them added to it later. But I've talked over the years since 13. He's been sick and in and out of the hospital. He was down in Birmingham at a rehab hospital for about 6 weeks. During that time, he had a whole lot of things going on at his house. People broke in, took furniture, just tore the house up. Then he was in the hospital for about rehab for about 3 different times. He's been all over North Side, McGuffey's, and all those places here in Gadsden. And so his house got in a disarray because people were just coming in it, just living out of it. My mother was sick at home, so he went home to stay with her because we were taking care of her during that time. So in the meantime, he had to move in with my mother because they were stealing his clothes and everything out of the house. So meantime, I asked him what was he going to do about his house, and he said that he may just tear it down. So I don't know what he plans to do with it, where he's going to tear it down. Last time I spoke to him, he said something about talking to someone about tearing it down and see if he could just, tear it and keep his property. I paid his property tax on it last year because knowing that he had been sick, he had several CVAs. And so I paid the property tax last year on it to make sure it was paid when I was paying everybody else's for my mother. And his, because I knew he had moved out of the house because he was exempt from taxes. So that's all I can tell you about it right now.
Okay, Ms. Wise, now specifically, are you needing from this council more time, or what are you needing for us to consider for you?
Well, I was just here to clarify because he should be here himself. He's up and about now, but I was just here to speak up for myself and for him too, to the best that I could, because I didn't know whether he was going to attend or not.
Okay.
Can I ask? Since that's in my district, I'm gonna ask for a table for 30 days. You talk to him and see if he wanna knock it down. If he cannot find someone, we'll go ahead and debate it. We'll knock it down, and then you can get with Brian Harbison, or he can, and you can make payments over 3 years. It's like normally like $100 a month or somewhere along in there.
He did.
And you can keep the property because we don't want the property.
Well, he did say that he knew somebody that could tear it down, to somebody that did this type work. So I'll let you speak to him. And,
Well, tell him to get in. He don't have to talk to me. Tell him he can speak with Mr. Harbison. But if he want to call me, he can. The building department there, okay?
Okay, all right.
All right. Thank
So
you.
I'm gonna give you 30 days. I'm gonna ask for 30 days.
Do you need me to give you his phone number? Sir?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Wise.
Thank
you. Thank you. Okay. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak in opposition? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Yeah.
I need to see it.
I would gladly let you look at the picture, and I'll get with her after the meeting and give her our contact information. But we'll set that up. Thank you.
Yeah, I should, yeah, 30.
Yeah,
You want to take?
you can change it,
You can change it.
7 days.
Oh, yeah, that's, maybe I spoke too soon. Ma'am, where did she go to? Did she leave?
Just doing it 7 days.
Well, what we're gonna do, ma'am, instead of 30 days, after looking at the picture, let's do 7 days. You get with him within 7 days and get back with, Mr. Harbison. Then if we need to do it again, we'll go.
He's gonna talk to me after
Okay,
the meeting.
then we may do another 7 days, but the house is, I guess I spoke up too soon when trying to help, you know, 'cause I have a big heart and I look for ways to try to knock people's houses down, but, after looking at that picture there, that's pretty bad, so.
Well, it was not that bad.
I'm sure it wasn't. Right, we have a lot of those problems where people break into houses, and we even have sometime when people trying to fix the house up and have material in there, they break in and steal all the material, so we'll do it in 7-day increments, okay?
Councilman Worthy, I think you probably got a big heart today, but it's probably gonna be a hard heart before you know it up there.
I hope I don't get like that. I pray.
All right, is there any additional discussion?
No.
All right.
We need a second
Yeah, so we have a motion to table for 7 days and a second.
in a second.
All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 7 days, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to table for 7 days.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1504 Malone Street in District 3, the state of Alabama, and heirs of Phyllis Veach being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started this case in November of last year. There are no improvements, there are no permits to improve, and we're asking for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to abate.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to say this for the sake of the young people that we have here today. When we vote on knocking houses down, abating these nuisance, we don't enjoy it. We really would rather for the homeowner to keep the property up, because that devalues the other property in the neighborhood. And if you all could see these pictures that we see, you would understand. So I know y'all may hear we're just knocking houses to be knocking them down and we want their property. We don't want the property. We're trying to do a land bank now. We were just waiting on the mayor to appoint the board members. And we will have a land bank where we can get rid of this property a lot quicker than what we're doing now. So and then if you can't keep it up, just go ahead and let us knock it down, and then you can pay, like I said, over a 3-year period. And I haven't seen one yet that was over $4,000 or $5,000 after we knock it down, because they do it by the weight. And you can make payments on it for 3 years, and you can retain the property. We won't put a lien on it.
So question for the council, the student council members that spoke to me upstairs. What's the average age of our housing stock in Gadsden?
I forgot that quick.
Who, did somebody say it? Who? The average age of our housing stock, anybody remember?
50 years.
There you go, Brooklyn. 50 years. 50 years. Our housing stock on average is about 50 years old. So that means we've got a lot of antiquated houses, a lot of old houses that are, some of them are approaching their life cycle. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with this at some level, and one of the ways that we have to deal with it is by abating these nuisance properties. So, you know, to Councilman Worthy's point, it's not something that anybody finds any enjoyment in, but, you know, we can't ignore it.
Councilman Williams, I look out there and I see all these smiling faces, and I know that they're the next generation that's going to replace us up here. They're going to replace, I just want to know how many people would like to live next door to a house that the roof was off, the front porch is torn off, or the back door's out, all the windows out, and it looks like a garbage dump. If you'd like to live beside a place like that, raise your hand. So as nobody raised their hand, so I think everybody's probably on board with this council. They want the houses in Gadsden to be fixed. They want people to clean their yards up. They want people to move abandoned cars. I got a list a while ago, there's probably 1,000 we did in all 7 districts in the last couple of months. We've abated stuff, got cars, people has washing machines in their yard, people has motors on their front porch, car motors. And it devalues your property, if all that stuff goes on. So I always tell everybody, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to have a lot of money, but anybody can clean up their property. That's all I got.
Mr. President, I would like to suggest one thing as an eye-opener, that they come up, the houses will be stacked, the photos down here at the end, okay? After the meeting, come up and just look at some of these houses and go along with what Brother Cannon said. Hey, you don't want to live next door to that. But this will wake you up and let you know what we go through.
See, I just read her lips, and she said, "Oh, my God."
Exactly, that's exactly what we say up here.
And I wish we could come up with a way to put it on 99, those houses. That's our TV channel, but that's for another day.
All right.
Let's move on, Mr. President.
Have we voted?
I don't think so. We
Okay.
were just discussing.
We're just discussing.
All right. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1509 Garfield Avenue in District 5, the state of Alabama, Blakely Scott Terrence being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started this case in September of last year. There have been some new windows installed in the house. This house has been under remodeling, reconstruction for several years now. The work has basically just been stopped. It's been abandoned. Property's gone back and forth to the state. Based on the complaints from the neighborhood, we're asking today for a resolution to abate the nuisance. Thank you.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, I move to abate the nuisance.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1211 Central Avenue in District 6, Virginia Spurlock and Alicia Spurlock being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started our case in September of last year. There have been no improvements. There are no permits to improve. And we're asking for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
Mr. President, while they're passing the pictures around, looking at it, this lady called me probably in November of last year that owns this piece of property. She wanted it condemned herself because of such bad shape, and she was here this morning. I told her she could leave. She wants the city to push this house down, and she's gonna pay the city to do it. But she's perfectly fine with us doing this. She's the one that called and wanted it done. She knew it's a nuisance, and she's on board with us.
Okay, all right, that's good, thank you. What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to abate.
Second.
Okay, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our final public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 506 Pearl Street in District 6, Wendell McCartney being the last known owner. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started our case in August of last year. There have been no improvements. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking for a resolution to abate the nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to abate.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Yes, I met the building inspector out there back in last August, and he went through the house, and it was a disaster. You can see there, and there'd been people going in and out trying to stay there. And they've had since last August to do something, and it's still been sitting there, so that's why I moved to abate it.
Think we might could rehab that, Brian?
We'll look at it.
I mean, you know, you got a couple places there, but the outside looks pretty.
I think it's probably gonna have to have a roof in the back. If I'm not mistaken, the back portion is rotten, isn't it, Brian? On that one, so I think there's some more pictures that's probably wasn't there, Sherman, on that one.
Okay. All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 17 is a resolution authorizing an agreement with the Gadsden Junior Golf Association. This is to sponsor the junior golf program, and the amount is $3,500. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 18 is a resolution authorizing addendum to agreement with Local Government Services LLC. This is for drafting and negotiating a new telecommunications franchise agreement with Southern Light LLC. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Our city attorney advised us during the work session that we will be obtaining more information as it relates to any direct benefit that the city may be able to garner from this agreement. But again, Local Government Services LLC is in place to help advise the city on how to maneuver through these agreements. So we're awaiting, some more information as it relates to this. All right. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Abstain.
we have one abstention. Motion carries to adopt.
Item number 19 is a resolution authorizing agreement with CDG Engineers and Associates, Inc. This is for preliminary evaluation of new pedestrian bridges at Nakalula Falls Park, and the amount is $5,500. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So move.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 20 is a resolution accepting conveyance of property at 119 Park Street. The owner wishes to convey the property to the city in lieu of nuisance abatement lien proceedings. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
I move to adopt.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 21 is an item being presented for first reading. It's an ordinance authorizing conveyance of property located at 402 Carolyn Lane to Kevin M. Calhoun. Sealed bids are accepted for sale of the property. Sealed bids were accepted for sale of the property, and the amount is $1,000. This ordinance has been presented today for first reading, and the council will vote on it next week. New business, is there any new business? Department reports, committees, boards, remarks by the mayor and council. Mayor?
Yeah, we're glad to have you here today. I guess you can see that it's more complicated than you just think, like, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You know, we all have to, I don't vote, the council does the voting and passing the ordinances and the resolutions, and I pretty much manage the employees, all the workers that we have. But the main thing we do is work together. You don't see any arguing and fighting and fussing and take it out in the hall like they did somewhere here recently behind the scenes. But, you know, if we disagree, we get together and everybody figures out, gets on the same page, and that's the only way to run government, is to have a smooth operation. Yeah, got good council folks and good employees.
Mayor, you don't have a bodyguard.
I hope I don't need one.
All right, Councilwoman Toles.
I have two, District 1 meeting, April the 25th, Animal Control, Public Work, and the city engineers will be at the meeting. And also, I was given the announcement last week, but I'm repeating it again, and that's Job Corps is looking for students. They have different areas that they can train you in, so those that you may know that are interested in joining Job Corps, please contact them. They're on Valley Street campus.
Okay. Thank you, Councilwoman Toles. Councilman Eccles?
Well, I'm glad to see all of y'all here, and I hope all of you get elected. I'm sure that's what you want, or at least you think that's what you want until you find out it's not quite what you think it is. I've been on this council now this is my 8th term. And how do you keep getting reelected? Well, you tell the truth. You don't tell somebody you're going to do something for them and don't do it, and can't do it. The thing about it is you can't do it. So don't run on telling everybody you're going to do this and do that and the other. Tell them the truth. I'm going to do what I can for you when I can, as long as it's legal. They may not like what you tell them, but they respect you for it. And that's the way you get reelected, I guess, because that's what I've tried to do all these years. That's all.
All right, thank you, Mr. Eccles. Councilman Worthy?
I'd just like to say, thank you all for coming. And to Miss Katie back there, thank you for doing what you're doing with the young people in the school system here. And just get your education. We talk about education a lot. Education will take you a long way. Just stay in school and further your education. Then I want to say thanks to team leaders and Bubba Treadwell and them for putting on old school this past weekend. And it was a big success. And I think this was the 8th year.
Yes, it was.
And I believe it's about the biggest event we have in Gadsden now, since we're not doing Riverfest. So I just want to say thank you to them. That's all.
Who won, by the way?
Well,
They lucked up.
Edward lucked up and won again. Was that 3 years in a row?
Three years in a row.
About the band, y'all.
All right, Councilman Billingsley?
I'd also like to thank Miss Katie, well, she's not a Katie anymore, I don't know her new name, but just Hardrick. And she's an A&M alumni also. And I thank you kids for coming up and taking interest in this, because it's very, very important. It might not seem like a lot to you now, but as you get old and start paying taxes, it'll mean a lot to you. So, and also, I went out to old school this weekend, had a good time. And a lot of people know who I am, and I don't know who they are. So you have to do things correctly all the time, and that way people can't say you're doing something underhanded. So just be, like the mayor said today, be careful who you associate with, because we all know some people that we've been associated with that's not doing such good things now. So you have to make excuses and just find your new friends. That's all I have.
Okay, Councilman Cannon?
Thank you, Councilman President. You're looking here, guys, at one happy camper sitting here today. For the past 8 years at Canterbury Station, we've had holes in the parking lot. People's run through there and tore the cars up, and people's had accidents down there and wrecks. They couldn't see to get out because the bushes grown up. And we partnered with the people down there for a tax incentive. When my Pablos came down there, my Pueblos, how we say that, came down there, and there was an incentive given if they would do the lights and do the parking lot. And I'm just so glad to sit here and tell you the parking lot is being done as we speak today. They're down there working on it, so all those holes will be gone. And I know the mayor will be glad that he won't have to hear all those calls every week he gets about it. Also, too, we're having Music on Miggin, starts at Alabama City Gazebo. It starts at 4 o'clock. This Saturday, we've got 4 bands lined up. Come on out there and enjoy the music. It starts from 4 and ends about 9. That's all I have.
Thanks you, Councilman Cannon. Councilman Reed?
I wasn't going to say anything until Bob started talking about being here so long. It's my 5th term, and I've enjoyed every day of it. So I'm just saying to y'all, you can enjoy the same thing. While you're here, enjoy it just about as much as we enjoy having y'all. Just be sure and listen and have a good time. But take that away, what Councilman Billingsley said, what each one has said to y'all this morning. Take it to heart, and you'll make it. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Reed. So have you enjoyed yourself? Well, good, good, good. I've definitely always enjoyed this. Just always good to be able to pour out. And I think all of our council members always enjoy it. Again, Ms. Hardwick, God bless you. You do a great job. You always have. And I'd be saying that even if you were not a Normalite. I'd be saying that for sure. So great job. I want to thank the young people for all the questions that they threw at me upstairs. I thought that was a great discussion. We had some good feedback. You know, one of the things we talked about was, you know, not equating politics to, what's the P word? That's right, not equating politics to power. I get scared when people start talking about politics and how much power you have with politics. Influence, maybe. I'm okay with influence, but power, that scares me. Power will get you in jail. Power will get you sent to jail. So it's a great responsibility being an elected official. And I think, again, I say this, I'll repeat what I said this morning about the mayor. You know, one of the things that I've always, you know, one of the things he said earlier is definitely true. We're able to get some things done here because we work well together. There's some people who have in their mind that if you're collaborating with the mayor's office that you're rolling over. No, that's not the case, and I would beg to differ. I think we collaborate because we get things done that way, and it reflects well. When people are recruiting Gadsden for industrial development, for commercial development, one of the things that they point out is that they appreciate the support and the collaboration that they got from both the mayor and the council. And you can't do that if you're doing some of the stuff that we see in some of these other cities, where they're constantly at each other's throat and fighting. So again, we are definitely proud of that, and we appreciate you young folks. So by a show of hands, before we get out of here, who's interested in politics after you've watched us make sausage today? Put them up high. I want interesting. So y'all didn't get scared away, huh? All right. Well, good. Miss Katie, you're doing a great job. Okay, go ahead.
I just want to say that for the last 9 years, we fed breakfast to the students, and for the last 9 years, Popeye's Chicken in East Gadsden, Cothran's Bakery, and Jackson, Alabama City, they've always been on board. You just call them, everything's ready, and they're ready to go. Everything runs smooth, and I just want to appreciate all these businesses. These 3 businesses helped us for the last 9 years. You can always call on them, and they're always there. and I appreciate that.
All right, great. Thank you, Councilman
Councilman
Cannon.
President, I didn't realize until today, and I was at a YMCA board meeting, but the YMCA sponsors youth in government.
Yep.
And this is the 28th year that they have been sponsoring, so YMCA should be commended also
Absolutely.
for sponsoring youth in government here at the City Council.
Absolutely. So young people, we appreciate you. We really do.
Frank, can I stumble on the power? You're gonna run for office, you got one thing to remember. The only power you got is what the people gave you. And stay legal.
That's right. Indeed. All right, if there's nothing else, I entertain a motion that we adjourn.
Move second and third and everything.